Hi there, this is Isaiah, and today we'll be going hands-on with the MobiScribe e-ink Android tablet. Now, this tablet is a few years old now, and has since been replaced by the MobiScribe Origin, a slightly lighter, more sophisticated, more powerful version of the same form factor. But I figured this tablet hasn't been reviewed that often before, so I wanted to go hands-on and show some of the features of it that I really love. So first things first, there really aren't, though there is a growing number, all that many of e-ink devices with digital stylus support. So that is really the number one thing I'd like to highlight about the MobiScribe. So let us create a new note and we'll see some of the features that it offers. You can see here we get horizontal and vertical orientation, and once we create that we can actually start writing. So basically it comes with a Wacom digitalizer stylus, meaning that it actually has support for a pretty wide range of styluses, but again, it comes with this one built in, and the case naturally supports this one, so it's a pretty good one to go for. Anyways, let's start by just minimizing out the UI just so we can see the basic writing features. So we can see that the digitizer and the response to the stylus is fairly responsive and fairly accurate. Now, we can draw with it, we can write with it, we can scribble. There's really a lot of things that we can do. It's not a great yin-yang sign. And then, let's see, looks like it does not have eraser, or it looks like it does have eraser support. There we go. That's a new thing I literally just learned right now. And inside MobiScribe's native application, there's also several other things we can do. You can see we can create tables. I'm not sure why you'd ever want to do that. We can also go in, a slightly more handy feature, if I can remember how to do it, and change the background. That's not that, that's just showing you an outline of the document. So again, we can go in, I want to say it's going to be here, yes. And let's say we want a line note instead. Now we have a lined note, so I can go back into my pen note mode, and I can jot lined notes. And like I said, you can create new pages. Not sure what that table view is doing there. So now we can flip back and forth between our pages. So really that's the primary functionality here that the MobiScribe is offering, is essentially a collection of digital e-ink notes. There are some limited ways that you can export and share these. However, I'd say that this is certainly not the strength of the device. You can see the primary thing we can do here is back up the notes, and by default they're both saved to the device and in a proprietary format that most devices, including your computer, your phone, your tablet, can't read. However, there is an option to back up the proprietary format to Dropbox if you synchronize your account. And additionally, at an individual note basis, if we go back in here, you can see we can actually go and export the note to some more usable formats. For example, we have PDF support for the entire document, or PNG image support for a single page. Now, in addition, like I said, this tablet is running an older version of Android, meaning that technically you have access to install Android applications on it. I'd say this isn't particularly recommended or supported, nor is there default access to Google Play Store or other online stores, meaning that you have to use Android's side-loading functionality. So essentially either you go to a website like APK Pure, or you plug this into your computer and directly load the APK files onto it. So we can see even with an app like Kindle Lite that's meant for relatively low power devices, it doesn't load very efficiently, and even when it does, it's not going to display well. Because, again, by default, all these Android applications are not built for an e-ink display. They're built for an LCD color display, which has a much higher refresh rate. Alright, looks like we're not even going to see anything because this app isn't up to date, which is the other thing about sideloading, is that there's no auto-updates like you would get on a full-featured Android device like a phone or tablet. So, if we can even get the MobiScribe to go back, you can see there are a few other default applications that are offered here. We have a web browser, not sure why you'd want to use it. We have a files application, and we can even manage the downloads of what we loaded onto this device. You can see here's another APK I tried to load onto it, Geekbench, but it turns out that this newer XAPK format, which I believe means that there's multiple files bundled into the APK, isn't even supported on this device, because if we go in and check, we'll see that it's actually running a fairly old version of Android. At the time of filming here, we're just about to have the release of Android 12, and meanwhile, if we look at this system, it's still running Android 4.4.2. But again, primarily for what you want to do as the main use of this device, which is take notes, it supports it just fine using a much older version of Android. And you can also go into books. I don't think I have any loaded here, but that reminds me as well. There is support for an external card if you want it. And apart from that, I would say one of the best features of this device that some of the leading ones on the market don't have, for example, the really spectacular device, the Remarkable, is it has a backlight, and in addition to having a backlight, it's a little hard to see on the display here, there are actually multiple color settings to the backlight. So you can see front light here, we can adjust the contrast, but we can also adjust the color temperature. So this is one of my favorite features of this device, that you can make it a much warmer color temperature on the backlight, which is kind of like this yellower, softer light on your eyes that's great for nighttime reading. So to sum everything up, really the main reason that I would recommend someone consider the MobiScribe is if you want a fairly cost-efficient, small form factor device that can take fairly decent notes using the included stylus. So again, notes is really the one and only thing I'd recommend you doing with this, and apart from that, it's just kind of okay. Alright, thanks so much for watching.